Right. So sometimes I think it can get a little bit confusing, you know, on this path, because you're like, okay, oh, I remember very clearly. You start identifying some limiting beliefs, and you want to create better beliefs, right? And to empower and accelerate your journey to but what happens when it can easily happen that you start going, oh, there's a limiting belief, there's a limiting belief. Oh, is that a limiting belief? People, then you start getting a little bit nervous about every thought and start really over evaluating every thought. What is there a system or a guideline that I mean, you've shared several links with us, and
Mm.
I'm happy to, if anybody wants to write to me at singingrevealed@gmail.com, please write. And Lynn said she's happy to share some of these resources. But what's a good guide for identifying and not getting over concerned?
Yeah. So there'll be a belief that's driving that behavior and that thought pattern. So getting rid of that first. So the other thing is that when you don't have the limiting belief, you just get on with things. And then one day you'll notice, like I did a session for myself 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I noticed, and this is part of what I was talking about just before, I noticed that I wasn't going out and doing all the videos and the promotional stuff on the work that I'm doing now in my private practice. I'm really excited about it, working with these high-end, multi-faceted, creative people who are already really successful in what they do, but just want to bring it all together and take it further. I love talking about it, but I wasn't doing the marketing that I need to start helping people understand that's what's happening in my practice. So I did a session, and what instigated it was that I wasn't happy with something that wasn't happening in my life or that I wasn't doing. And so then I went and did the work. So I don't go looking for limiting beliefs. I just look for, where am I not happy in what I'm doing and with myself? Where am I having conflict or issues? So another one was when I had a situation recently in a social network I have, and I got very upset and hurt by something that someone said to me. So then I went and explored it, because people will say things and do things. They just will, because they've got their beliefs driving them. But what's more important is that, how am I reacting to that? How am I coping with that? How am I managing it? And how's it impacting my life and my ability to feel happy, content, satisfied, to be striving and thriving? And then, if it's interfering with that, because that's my expectation, is that I will thrive in life, I will achieve my goals, I will prosper, I will feel happy, I will have good relationships, my business will do well, all of this sort of thing. I'll feel comfortable talking to strangers. That was something that I never used to feel comfortable about. When those things aren't happening, then I go and find out, well, what's at the bottom of this? What's the belief that's feeding into the issue? So rather than just saying, oh, what are all my beliefs and let's get rid of the ones that aren't working, it's like, what's my behavior, my thought patterns, my emotional reactions?
Yeah, it's a good point. And but like you said, there's a belief behind everything. So for someone like me, then I just start thinking da, 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 da. I'm like, oh no, where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where are these? I
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to get very stressed out about it.
Right.
I did, and in the beginning, it would take me, I don't know, it took me a few weeks just to calm down, because I'd panic. I'm like, oh, I'm believing this, that's going to happen. Oh, this isn't going to happen because I believe this, and I'm like,
Right.
whoa,
Yeah.
calm down, take it one step at a time. But getting
And not
back,
all, yeah, just quickly as well, I just want to stress that not all beliefs are bad. There are some beliefs which really help us and serve us, and they're okay to hold on to. We just want to get rid of the ones that are limiting our potential.
yeah, I think that's great. I mean, something that I talk about in my online course rather frequently is that and I'm just going to relate this to beliefs as well. But if you're having technical issues, right? A lot of the technical issues you have are compensatory. So they're compensatory. They're things that your body is doing because one thing is not in balance. And when you balance that, they kind of magically just go poof and disappear because they're not needed anymore. So the
Mm.
same thing with beliefs. You find, let's say, you find the ones that you feel identify as most limiting. If you replace that with an empowering belief, likely a lot of other ones are just going to go poof without you knowing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes you can. It's kind of like when you're at a bowling alley, you knock one down, and a few others kind of just go down because they're in the trajectories of the ball, or another pin. Yeah, so exactly, you can sometimes get rid of a. And this is what I do when I'm working with people: is I give them what's called an intake form, and they can tick off all of the beliefs, or all no, not beliefs, all of the things that they want to work on. You know, whether it's on concentration or focus or self-belief or guilt, or there might be some things that they know that they're having to deal with from the past that's happened to them. And I basically say, well, these things are kind of related. Like I did a session just today where we did about 5 things, but we only worked on one of them, but the others kind of went, once this other one went, the others went as well. So yeah, I agree.